Welcome back, guys. In the previous episode, we looked into the introduction of mobile phone repair and other related devices. So we looked at the tools that are required, the necessary tools that are primarily needed for one to run this kind of business or one to involve himself or herself in this kind of art. Today, we want to look at what makes up a phone, what are the parts that are put together to bring about something known as a mobile device? A mobile device is a communication gadget that sends and receives radio signals for communication to go through. Here we're having a Redmi phone and it is already opened. We want to know the structure of our modern mobile devices. We are not going to dwell too much into the previous ones. We are going to look into modern devices. This one is Redmi, and as you can see, it is already opened, and there are parts that are necessary for one to understand this is for this and this is for that. Most of the devices that are manufactured nowadays, this is the most common structure that you can get. We are having the lower section. This base is having the charging plate. Then the middle section, we have the battery. Then the upper section, most devices, you'll find the upper section containing the motherboard, the cameras, the earpiece, and some little or something like fingerprint or face ID. This is just a typical structure of a mobile device. This is a typical structure of a modern mobile device. This one is Redmi. We also have here HMD. The HMD, as you can see, the formation is just the same. Look, we're having a speaker here, we're having a charging plate, the subboard that is, we're having a battery in the mid section, and we're having a motherboard in the upper layer, the upper part. The same applies to this Samsung. We also have Samsung here with us. The same structure. We're having a charging board down there, the vibrator here, some FPC, a battery, and a motherboard. The same structure has been involved in so many devices that are manufactured today. But we have devices that were previously the structure of previous devices, like this one. This one is Samsung. No, this one is iPhone. This is iPhone 6s. With iPhone 6s, you're having the battery on one side, having the motherboard on a side, by the side, and you're having the charging plate by the lower section, the ring on the lower section. So it is easier for you to understand what usually goes on or what happens in with the devices or with the structural component of a mobile device. It is very necessary for one to understand what usually goes on or what parts are responsible for what purposes, so that you can be able to fix these kind of devices. Like I have said, we're having the subboard down there, we're having the battery section, and we're having the motherboard. This is the main part of the mobile devices. This is the main part of the mobile device, as I've said. And we also have other parts, that's the smaller components, smaller parts that are also necessary for a phone to work. Like for instance, you're having this one. This one is the antenna. It is very necessary because it is responsible for the network reception. This one is the RF, radio frequency antenna. It links up with the subboard that links up to an external pad that is responsible for the reception of mobile network. For instance, this one is iPhone 11. You can see the screen here. We have the screen here, the LCD that displays whatever goes on within the phone. We have the battery by the side. I think they have just retained the same structure as iPhone 6. Now the battery by the side. This one is the structure for iPhones. And the ringer, the taptic engine as the vibrator, the ringer on the lower section. The mouthpiece is also situated on the lower section. The motherboard by the side, the camera, and the selfie and iris scanner, iris or face ID scanner. You should note that this is the correct posture for one to handle a mobile device. That means the mouthpiece should be located at the lower section so that it can capture audio waves, audio signals, and the earpiece is located at the upper section, whereby you will hear or listen to whatever the other end is saying. The earpiece is on the upper section, the mouthpiece is on the lower section. Understand that. It is easier for you to understand that one because we have perforations here. These perforations are the ones that bring about voice or sound. There is an intake of voice here. There is an opening here that allows the mouthpiece to capture voice. We also have perforations here. This one is for audio out, for the speaker on ringer, that is. But we have devices that have 2, 3, or more mouthpiece. For instance, we're having like this Redmi here with one mouthpiece here and another one at the top. And this iPhone here, we have a mouthpiece. We have mouthpiece here down here. Sorry, you have mouthpiece here on the lower section too. No, you cannot see it, but there is one here and another one here, and also there is one here at the back. So those are just parts of a mobile device. And I have said this is the common structure of the most manufactured devices of the modern world. We have the battery chamber here, the motherboard. I'm repeating myself here, and the subboard here. This subboard constitutes of several things. This subboard has the mouthpiece with it, it has the charging port, and it has the ringer chamber. A ringer is placed here. So this is the ringer. It's the one that gives out sound, music, whatever you're playing on YouTube, you're listening through this one. Whenever your phone rings, this is what produces the sound. It is connected to this subboard and to this cable. Then all the information is obtained from this motherboard. So there is a connection here, a continuous connection from this ringer to the subboard here, to the flex here, to the board. This flex that joins the lower section, the subboard, to the main board, this is called the subboard. The flex that joins the subboard to the main board is called an FPC, a flexible printed circuit. And this is what I mean by FPC, this cable here. We have different kinds of FPCs. Different manufacturers do come up with different designs. So this one is conjoined with the screen, but we have another one here. For instance, this is Samsung having different FPCs. This FPC links up the screen to the mobile motherboard, and we also have another FPC here that links up the subboard to the main board. Then we have the antenna. This one is a different kind of antenna, different from this one. This is the normal one that they use, that we used to use before. But with improvement in technology, we're having this kind of antenna. So this one is responsible for network reception. It links up with this one, and it links up with the frame and the outer pads for network reception. So understand that we have the FPC. These are parts of the phone. Most phones will have the FPC like this one. I've said FPC is a flexible printed circuit that links up one part of the phone to another. We have the FPC that links up the subboard to the main board. We also have another FPC that links up the screen. The screen is connected here, and it links up to the motherboard. This is the structure of modern mobile devices. Most of these devices that I've shown you are open from behind. But remember, there are some devices that you have to tackle it from the front while opening the device. If you do not know how to go about, please refer from the internet. You can check on Google how to open a certain device that you're handling. For instance, you're having this Google Pixel here with us. This one is Google Pixel. This is Google Pixel. And you see this phone, you do not open it from behind as it is with the normal devices, the other devices. You do not open it from behind. You open it via the front. You tackle it from the front. So you have to remove the screen if you want to tackle anything. If you want to change the battery, if you want to service the earpiece, the ringer, the mouthpiece, this is how you open a Google Pixel. You have to remove the screen first. So these are very delicate kind of devices that require professionals to handle them. So do not tackle it if you are a beginner. For beginners, please find devices that are easier to open and easier to operate. But for high-end devices, please, you should not indulge yourself in fixing them if you're not a pro. You're going to cause yourself it is going to cost you, because you are going to damage those devices if you're not used to them. Take tutorials, understand how to open and the disassembling and assembly of mobile devices. For instance, I've said you start with the common ones that we tackle from behind. It will be easier for you to know how to open them. So you open the cover, remove the screws, and observe the phone. Make sure that you practice on attaching and detaching these parts. Be careful while opening these devices, because just a little mistake and you're going to cause it's going to cost you big time. So very careful while opening these ones, this kind of strips. Be very careful. Do not do it in a hurry. Do not use very sharp objects, because you might tamper such connectors, and this one might cost you big time. So take it easy while trying to learn this kind of business, while trying to learn this art. Practice with dead phones, practice with phones from your relatives and the ones that they have given to you, and familiarize yourself with this kind of devices by opening them, uh, each and every one of them, by opening them one by one. Do not go ahead and open big devices or the flagship phones and you do not know how to handle the mid-range phones, the small devices, the budget phones. The budget phones are so easier to open because most of them you just remove the back cover. Most of them you just remove the battery from behind. But with high-end devices, you'll face difficulties like this. You have to remove the screen, and these screens are very expensive. This kind of screen is called an AMOLED screen, and it is very expensive. OLED AMOLED screens are very, very expensive. So that is it for this episode. You should learn how to disassemble and assemble devices. But the main thing that we have learned on this episode is the structure of a mobile device. I have said the mouthpiece is located at the bottom. The ringer most times is located at the bottom because you can see these kind of perforations. They are the ones that give out the sound. The ringer is what gives out the sound while a phone is ringing. It also gives you the sound while you're playing music or you're watching something on the internet or on YouTube or a video, or you're playing a video. Earpiece is located at the uppermost part of the phone, so that the normal structure or the normal way of handling a phone, you can hear because the earpiece is located close to the ear, to where you can put your phone to the ears. The earpiece is located at the upper section. Remember, the earpiece is located at the upper section. The mouthpiece is located at the lower section. So you just have to identify how a mouthpiece looks like, different kinds of mouthpiece, and understand so that it can be easier for you to fix or replace. The ring, I've said, is located at the lower chamber. The battery takes a huge part of the midsection of the board of the housing, and the board, like this one, sits by the side. This one is for Google Pixel, but it also looks like iPhones also have motherboards by the side. Most of them have motherboards by the side. Like for instance, I've said iPhone 11 is having a motherboard by the side, like this one. This is the motherboard of this device. This one is the motherboard for iPhone 11, and you have the battery here. So you can see some similarities between iPhone and Google Pixel. These are very high-end phones. You should not tackle them if you are not a pro, or if you are not used to this kind of business. I just wanted you to understand the structure and how the formation of a phone is from the inside. So this one is the inside view. For a phone to work, you must have a battery, the driving power. You should have a ringer so that it can ring and you can hear. You should have an earpiece so that you can enable hearing. You can enable the hearing. And you should have a mouthpiece so that it can capture your audio, your mouth, your audio, whatever you're talking. You should have a mouthpiece, and the motherboard as the main part of a mobile device. Here we have the motherboard, the SIM tray, and the housing. These are just parts of the mobile device. You also have very important part that I did not mention, the switch. I did not mention the switch, but we are having the switch, the power on switch or the ignition switch, and the triggering switch, not the ignition. This is not a car. The triggering switch, the volume down and the volume up. Sometimes you have Bixby for Samsung, and we have other keypads for other mobile devices. But that is it for today. I have said most phones, this is the structure. The mid section contains the battery. The lowest section contains the subboard. This is called the subboard or the charging plate or the daughter board. There is a ringer too here. Then we have the main board here, the motherboard here with us, the earpiece, and the switch by the side. The switch. We have the inner switch and we have the outer switch that is located on the frame or on the housing of a mobile device. We also have the FPC that links up the subboard to the main board. I want you to understand this one so that while we mention these parts in our future episodes, you will be well accustomed to, or you already know what we are talking of. So when I mention FPC, you understand what I'm talking of. If I mention C2C, a connector to connector, you understand what I mean. We have a C2C here, and the C2C links up C2C. This one is connector to connector. This one is a cable that links up the lower section to the upper section. You can say B to B, board to board. This one is a subboard, and another motherboard. So a board to board, we say B to B, or C to C for connector to connector. Those are just some of the basic parts you should know for a mobile device. Of course, we have devices that are different in structure. They have different structural that have different structural appearances in the inside or from the inside. But this one is the main or the most common ones. You have seen with Samsung, we have seen with HMD, we have seen with Huawei, we have seen with Redmi. This one is the most common structure of mobile phones today. So if you're having charging problems, the first place you should look at is the lower section before tackling the upper section, the lower section. We are going to tackle that one in our next episodes. We will look into the smaller components of a mobile device, or the parts that constitute a mobile phone. We look at the CPU, the flash, the ROM, that is the RAMs. We're going to look at also the UFS, that is just the same thing. We're going to look at the battery connectors. We're going to look at the main motherboard connectors. We're going to look at the capacitors, the diodes, and the resistors, the inductors, and so many other things that make up a phone or are necessary for a phone to run. That is it for this episode. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Keep it here. This is IQ Service Center.
This is IQ Service Center, home of fast fixes, today and future tech masters.